Hi guys, I hope you all are doing well today. So for my individual presentation, I chose to speak about world hunger. Reason as to why I chose world hunger is because I personally believe that it's one of the biggest topics and one of the biggest issues that our world today is dealing with, not just in the US, but all around the world. It's something that needs to be discussed, something that needs to be talked about, something that needs to be brought awareness to. And I will be going into some statistics, um, people whom are more affected of world hunger, some of the countries, cities, some of the places in the world that are mostly affected, as well as one of the projects or one of the solutions that has been brought up upon the United States. And so here we go. Okay, so the first slide talks about statistics. There is a total of 795 million people in today's world who are dying of hunger, who are not well nourished, and eventually leads to their death. 1 in 9 people actually don't have enough to eat. There is always that one person that is starving. 98% of the world's undernourished people live in developing countries. And then there's an image at the bottom that says every 3.6 seconds a child dies because of hunger. And so I really thought that that was a very impactful picture that really just stood out, and it just really speaks a lot about poverty and hunger in today's world, and to see that every 3 seconds, every 4 seconds, a child dies from hunger is something that definitely needs to be brought upon. Um, areas areas hunger is the worst. Oh, sorry, I misspelled the word. My bad. Okay, so areas in the world that hunger is the worst in. Asia has 525.6 million people dying of hunger, starving. Sub-Saharan Africa, has 214 million people. Latin American and the Caribbean have 37 million people, and at the very bottom there is also an image. You really can't see it much, but there is an image, and it just really captures and shows the percentages of like the people who are, well, the developing countries and the places whom are more who live in poverty, therefore who can't be provided or provide each other with proper nutrition or proper food in order for them to be healthy. Who is affected the most? Women and children are the two who are mostly affected. First, going into women, 60% women in the world die of hunger. 50% of pregnant women in developing countries lack the proper maternal care. So what that means is that 50% of women whom are pregnant aren't don't have the proper material or don't have the proper maternal care in order for them to have a good process, a good pregnancy process. And actually, 300,000 maternity deaths are caused annually because they don't have that proper nutrition or those proper materials that they need in order to take care of themselves and obviously their child. Children are also affected the most. Children, 1 out of 6 infants born with low birth weight, half of the deaths have been 5 years or younger because they're undernutrition, which equals to 3 million deaths. So half of the deaths that occur in today's world are children who are under 5 years old, and it's because they're undernourished, and eventually 3 million of those children around the world die. every 10 seconds equals a child death from disease. So not only do children die from not being properly nourished, but that eventually, or that leads to them developing any type of diseases, that leads to them really not, don't have a proper functioning body, and their physical state is just very poor, so that leads to their death. And finally, the Hunger Project. The Hunger Project has been a very working organization, or project, as you can say, that has been targeting some main places that it has been targeting are Mexico, Ghana, Uganda, Peru, Benin, Ethiopian, and etc. What does it do? What does Hunger Project do? It empowers and supports women in order to build their capacity. It also achieving to end hunger and poverty. So you obviously can't end poverty and hungry and poverty and hunger in like a couple of days, or like in a couple of hours, or in a few months. But you can always make a change in the world. You can always go help out, provide clean water. Some of these developing countries also lack a lot of clean water, and because of that clean water, because there's no clean water, there's a lot of diseases which leads to deaths. So many of these countries are just really living in poverty, don't have the proper nutrition, don't have the proper materials to take care of themselves, especially women. Um, and this project, the Hunger Project, is a developing organization that has been trying and empowers women to keep going, empowers children, puts in any type of work in order to help these people in these developing countries. And at the bottom, you really can't see, but there's a picture that says ending hunger is possible, and at the bottom corner it says the Hunger Project. And so, yeah, that's my presentation for my individual presentation. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and you guys have a great one. Thank you.